Eastern Europe's history was dominated by a clash between religions. The Roman Empire in the south sent Orthodox missionaries to convert the barbarians near them, while Catholic nations sent emissaries and crusaders as well. North was divided between several pagan religions. Ooh, there's one that we could do, Scandinavian paganism. We all know what that means! Vikings. The Bogomils were a dualist Christian sect that began in Bulgaria in the 10th century. They believed that the physical world was created by the devil and that good Christians must focus on the spiritual world. The movement was persecuted by local authorities and eradicated from Byzantium by the 12th century, forcing it westwards into the Balkans. It survived in Bosnia until the last Ben Tvrko converted to Catholicism in 1347. He purged his government of the heresy when he gained the throne. Feared raiders, the Vikings were converted only gradually to Christianity. Although the Scandinavian countries all adopted Christianity officially in the 12th century, records show that people continued to practice pagan rituals long afterwards, especially in the more isolated pockets of the north. Romans sent out missionaries to convert the Slavic barbarians to Christianity, hoping it would lead to stable northern borders. Saints Cyril and Methodius famously invented the Cyrillic alphabet in the 9th century in order to give the Slavs a written language in which to read the Bible and establish codes of laws. Impressed by the benefits of the conversion, rulers from Bulgaria to Kiev converted to Christianity over the next century. Romans were not always destined to be Christian. Even after Constantine converted the empire, Hellenic pagans remained an important minority. More than one emperor attempted to reverse the trend and restore old imperial religion, but none... No, I'm not doing that one. Don't even ask. So, yeah, you could convert everyone to Astru. Ukonsku becomes the new state religion of Finland. Astru becomes the new state religion of Denmark, Gotland, Norway and Sweden. I wonder if that allows you to raid. That would be kind of interesting. Or Hellenic becomes the new state religion of the Empire of the Romans, Epirus and Morea. I'm not doing that this play. Maybe in the future I'll do one. Greco-Roman paganism hunts us even in EU4, yeah. Yeah, maybe in the future I'll do a Viking playthrough. We'll see. Egypt was one of the leading centres of Christianity, rivaling Constantinople for influence. It was a constant problem for the Romans, who favoured Orthodox Christianity over the Miaphysite Christianity of the Copts. Used to being persecuted, the Copts welcomed Arab invaders with open arms. By the time the Muslims too began to persecute the Copts, it was too late to fight them, and Egyptian Christianity faded away. So that basically turns the Mamelukes Christian. Huh. Sassanid Persia fell to the Muslims in 651, condemning the Zoroastrian religion to die out in Persia. However, what we call Persia is a collection of empires. Several times the empire fell to invaders, only to have a governor lead a rebellion and establish a new empire with its own brand of Zoroastrianism. This ended with the Arabs, and instead Persia became a centre of Islamic learning. So Persia could become Zoroastrian again. As the Umayyad Caliphate fell apart, several potential successors fought over its corpse. The Abbasids won, but at a cost. Spain remained in Umayyad hands, and North Africa was divided into several smaller states who fiercely resisted Abbasid attempts to reclaim them. The Idrisids, Rustamids and Aghalbids established imamates that allowed dissidents from the Khajates to prosper until they were conquered by the Fatimids in the 12th century. And then the first caliphs conquered empires but did not attempt to convert the locals to Islam. Later caliphs accepted converts and eventually allowed these new Muslims to join the governed the caliphate, adopting Persian and Byzantine systems of government. This breathed new life into Islam, but at the cost of once again marginalising the Bedouin tribes that had begun it. Many became furious at what they saw as decadence and ingratitude by the Turks who came to rule over Arabia. This made the peninsula fertile ground for fundamentalist movements that began in the 18th century. So you could get Jewish states in and around Jerusalem and Gaza. If the Arabs had revolted against them, then you get Wahhabis in Arabia. Imamates, you get a bunch of small states with loads of money. Loads of small states. Persian dynasty, you get a new Zoroastrian Persia. See you, Mitch. Asia is a cradle of many religions and philosophies. Buddhism, Jainism, Hinduism were all born in India, then spread out to the rest of Asia, where they interacted with the local gods and philosophies. The Sikh religion began as a 15th century reaction to the religious violence in India, torn between Muslims, Hindus. Since the 13th century, India was ripe for something new. The first guru led the movement of religious toleration that, when violently suppressed, established itself as a new religion. The Assyrian Church of the East spread Christianity into Asia as far as India and China. Unlike their Roman cousins, they remained a minority, sometimes tolerated, sometimes persecuted, but never dominant. They came tantalizingly close to gaining state support under Mongol Ilkhanate. Mongol chieftains married Christian wives, employed Christian advisors, and had Christian armies and generals. They ruled over a predominantly Muslim empire, however, and in 1295 the Khan converted to Islam, snatching away the influence the Christians had. That would be interesting, a Christian Mongol horde. Initially very successful in northern India, Buddhism soon found itself under attack by a reinvigorated Hindu faith. With the fall of the Pala in the 12th century, it lost its state support as well. Dwindling in numbers, it was easy prey for the Muslim invasions of the 13th century, and Buddhism was very nearly wiped out from the land of its birth. That would have changed a lot. Master of the known world, Genghis Khan ordered religious freedom in his empire. The Mongols allowed foreign missionaries and employed Christian, Jewish, Muslim and Buddhist generals. Eventually the Khans themselves converted, and the old shamanist religion was replaced by more organised religion. The Soga clan of Japan imported Buddhism from Korea. It helped to provide them with an organised religion that allowed them to overcome their rivals, the Mononobe, and eventually seize control of the state. With state support, literate Buddhists supplanted the oral religion of the islands. Indeed, Shinto shrines became part of Buddhist temples, and Shinto gods were adopted into Buddhist theology as divine guardians of the Buddhas. Shinto never died out amongst the commoners, however. It underwent a revival in the 16th century to become the state religion of Japan again in the 19th. So if the first guru had preached earlier, then Sikhs would appear earlier. If the Khan had converted to Christianity, you get a bunch of Chaldeans. Like a lot of them. If the Mongols had stayed true to their roots, then everything becomes shamanist. If the Muslims had never invaded India, then you get Theravada everywhere, which I think is one of the religions in CK2. And if Soga had failed to seize the throne, then you get Shinto everywhere. One of these days I'll have to do enable all. But today is not that day. Like I said, I want this one just to be normal so I can understand how the game works. This is my tutorial game. Yeah, I think I've made a terrible, terrible mistake moving my centre of trade. Because we're pushing a lot of money here, but just not earning a lot. I wonder if I switch you to collecting trade, how will that change things? So we're at 4.09 right now. I suspect that will change things quite a lot. Although it will be less effective because we're collecting in two areas. Yeah. That means that we earn another 6 ducats a month. That was a big change. That was a very big change. So we are still stealing a little bit of money here, but we're also making sure that these guys earn a hell of a lot less. And we're earning more here. However, we get a minus 46% trade power. Malus. But that doesn't matter so much because we dominate so much of this anyway. And once I start inheriting these little guys, then that's going to become even less of a problem. That's interesting. I'd never really considered doing that in like an inland trade node. But yeah, we're definitely keeping this. I mean, 7 ducats instead of 1? That's a big difference. That's a very big difference. But I think I want to continue trying to build up the coast. But this just gives us time to do so. So once we control like 50% of this rather than 12%, then we can flick the switch and make tons and tons of cash. Who am I going to attack next? Probably Flanders, possibly Brittany. Probably Brittany. But I am still doing a spy thingy against them. Get some more cores soon as well, which is good. I'm going to start investing a little bit into papal influence here. 40%, we'll go up to 60, 50. 50 will do. For now. Another core. So if a city, or if a province is not cored yet, do I get less trade power? No. Not really. Where did I move the trade capital to? I moved it to here. Pays de Nuit, which is the Loire estuary, so it gets plus 25% trade power. It's also a source of salt, which provides another 0.1 local trade power, and it's quite far back in my country, so it's very unlikely to get attacked. So when the prosperity thing happens, then it should become prosperous and earn us even more money. Plus it's farmland, so we should be able to get a pretty decent city going there. My plan is to try and turn it into a centre of trade. So I'm investing fairly heavily in it, generally. England declared war on Castile. Conquest CB. Now that's interesting. Castile doesn't have any minions, but I could declare war on them to get money. Seal of Confession. Religious institutions are considered sacrosanct and above the petty plots and schemes of countries and spies. This is why it's crucial to infiltrate them. Many secrets that would never be spoken aloud are told in confidence to religious authorities, which the practice of confession has been turned into an institution. So I get another 25% spy network in Brittany, which would immediately allow me to attack Brittany, or I gain 10 Diplo. I'm going to risk the Pope finding out. I'm then going to fabricate a claim on you. And then I'm going to cancel this build spy network. So how long does this claim last? 50 years. Okay. And you have no allies whatsoever. We have a truce, but that lasts for another 3 years. In fact, I could have just held off and let it go for 3 years. Going to war just to loot is a perfectly viable way to cash. Be careful though, it can start a famine that can come into your lands. I'm France and I get big bonuses to rural production. So that would actually be kind of in my favour. Oh no, it's rural goods produced. That's not money. That's not food, is it? Food production is a different thing. That's farming efficiency. This is rural production, isn't it? Has my force limit changed at all? Yeah, my force limit just goes up and up and up and up, so that's got to be autonomy. And I'm going to assume that my war reparations have ended. They have. The problem is I don't have I have a humiliation CB against you. None of my allies would join, but then they don't have any either. I'm going to wait until England gets a little bit more involved. Because otherwise they're far more likely to declare war on stuff on my borders. It's too bad that Aragon doesn't want in. Only because they're in another war. Who are you fighting? Tlemcen. But this is a great way to bring Castile down to heel. How much of an army does Castile have? Quality-wise, I am ahead of them. Army-wise, they have a total army of 19,000. 27,000 manpower, so I have more manpower than they do. I can raise the nobles. They are pretty darn loyal, so they would do it. It's Aragon with an A, not an E. Does each faction get different ships because it only says flute when I upgrade? No, same ships. Well, that's not necessarily true. Are you playing MEIOU and Taxes or are you playing vanilla, Socialist? Because if you're playing vanilla, yes. If you're playing MEIOU and Taxes, no. I mean, they all get the same ships, not that they get different ships. Alright, so the English are landing. And when do you arrive? 14th of June, tomorrow. No, 19th of August, not tomorrow. Yeah, I wasn't asking about DLCs, I'm asking if you're using the MEIOU and Taxes mod, which is what I'm using. If this is just vanilla, then no, there's no difference in factions, what ships you get, you always get the same. Aragon's fighting Tlemcen, which is these guys. Ooh, my trading ships are almost ready. Huzzah! This should let me seize a bit more control. Although I don't know how good their trade propagation is right now. Group. Tech trade. Northwest Atlantic. Could have sworn it's supposed to say somewhere. That's positioning. That's blockade strength, which is not trade strength. Ah, 6. So we gain 0.4 of a ducat. It would actually be way more effective in the Western Mediterranean. Still going to send it to the Atlantic, 'cause that's denying our enemies money. Alright, just a little bit longer. What Miltech are you? You're still on 11. I'm on 12, aren't I? Yeah, I'm ahead of you. And England. So my army will beat you up. Okay, so the English have landed. I want to have a look how they're doing. And then we'll put you back onto your trade thing, because apparently you stopped. The English are landed, and are not really doing much. I've still got my really good general. Yeah, I think I'm in favour of this humiliation war, especially while England is fighting them. And this is going to get me a bunch of power projection if we win it. So, with that in mind, I need to go cap in hand to the greater nobles and say, yo, I'd like a partial military support, please. And to the Burkers to say war relief. And I don't think I'm going to request anything from the lessers. I'm just choosing random people to invade everything. Let's try and do it in one kind of similar area though. There we go. And again, I'm not going to siege stuff because I want to maintain my manpower, but I will be quite happy to fight their armies. Because I'm fairly confident I can shatter them. Okay, looting policy. I want to encourage looting. So my discipline's going to go down, my siege ability is going to go down, but we're going to be a lot more morale. We're also going to lose monthly war exhaustion, which means we can continue this war for much longer. I'm going to strongly encourage looting. Alright, so the infantry are ready. Let's have you come down to Armagnac. And Aragon, I'm going to need to get access from you. Question, can I get here already? No. So yes, we're going to have to get access through Aragon, but I'm going to wait until we actually have our armies together and are ready for a conflict. Am I still building artillery? Yes. But we do already have a bunch. What's your supply limit? 23. Do I have anywhere around here which is more? Yes. You. Go there. Austria is emperor again. Okay, I am ready to open the floodgates. Go. Go, my minions! Crush them beneath your boots. Alright, I'd really rather... Well, it's only a tiny amount of attrition. We can take a tiny bit. Now I just need to hope that the English army hasn't been completely annihilated in the opening rounds of this war. Another cannon. There. Right, I'm going to go ahead and just split you in half. So you're on 8 and 7, 9 and 7. So you need to go there, together with the general's army. And then you kind of need another general. Go ahead and hire one. 2. You. How many can I maintain? 3. I'm going to get rid of you because you do actually suck. Oh, unless you were going to be a siege general. Who are my rivals? Castile and England. I'm currently pouncing on a war which England just declared war against Castile. Armagnac, why not moving? You have your orders. I would see them carried out. Oh, I don't have access through Navarra. Now I do. Cultural unrest. On average, 60% of your provinces with unaccepted cultures will gain 20 unrest. Provinces of the same culture are less likely to have unrest. Oh. And an exceptionally cold year. Things are just getting better and better. Fantastic. Castile's almost ready to peace out already. Hey, Ragnos. Yeah, don't be coming together. Spread out. You stay where you are. Oh, you can't. Right, so I need to take their capital, which is that one. I know I said I wasn't going to siege, but I think I need to. At least to take their capital down. You're saying I'm losing innovativeness. I basically have none to lose, so wibble. Oh crikey, that's a lot of attrition. Yeah, when I said we were going to attack stuff, what I really meant to say was we're not going to attack stuff. That's in the way of the mountains. Hang on, you go to Valencia. That's a much better position. You're going to Zativa. That's going to be a mistake for you, buddy. Gonna wait until you're locked on in. Like that. And we are going to make sure that my good general is currently assigned to this. Don't unassign him. Silly Mordred is silly. Oh, you're actually coming after me, really? That would seem to be rather silly to me. Dead. Exceptionally cold year, attrition for enemies, plus 10. So, yeah, I need to be careful about that. I think we need money out of the construction fund. Yes, I just noticed that. Yeah, I definitely do. I'm glad I did just notice that, because that would have been bad. Automated, no. Where's construction? Yeah, that was... Why can't I select you? I have to be at peace? Are you saying that money's just there? That's a freaking stupid system. Alright, I'm going to stop using that because that's rubbish.